Okay, let's do a quick project using layer masks. And in this project, what we're going to do is we're going to put a face in this soccer ball. So the first thing we need to do is create a layer mask. And we're selected on our layer, so we can click to create a layer mask. And then remember, we can use the brush or a gradient tool to actually add some black in here to hide parts of this image so you can see through to what's underneath. So let's use a gradient tool. We'll hit the G key and we'll set it on the radial gradient tool. We'll hit the 0 key to make sure we're at 100% opacity. Oh, and make sure that the mode is on normal. If you have it on some of these other modes, it can mess up your results. And then we'll click in the center of the ball and move to the outside of the ball and release. So it's showing only these pixels in the center and it's hiding everything around. We want the opposite of that, so we're going to hit Control-I to inverse it. And we're back to a familiar looking scene from earlier in the layer masks section, where you see just transparent pixels right in the center of the ball here. And a good way to look at it is right over here. You can see the black. It's hiding the pixels of the ball, and it's showing the pixels where the white is around it. So now we're going to put an image behind this that will then show through. So we're going to go to File, and instead of opening a new image, we're going to say Place Embedded. So we click on Place Embedded, go to the picture we want, double click on it, and it drops it in here. Now we're going to take this image and we're going to grab it and we're going to pull it behind our current layer. So now that image is underneath our other layer, and you can actually see where we have the layer mask and we've masked off part of this ball. You can see part of her scarf sticking through. And if I go here and I make sure I'm selected on that and I hit the V key for the move tool, then I can grab this image underneath and I can move it around. And by simply dragging it down like to here, I can essentially place her in the ball, and you almost get kind of like a Christmas ornament effect. Now notice if I bring it too far down, then you're getting this line where the top of this image is showing through the layer mask, so you have to be careful about that. If you wanted her face to be bigger, you could go Control-T, and you can grab these edges and make her face bigger, within reason obviously. And then when I click and drag, then you're going to have more face in there. And with this, you'd have to be kind of careful about where these lines land, like maybe do it like this. That kind of makes her look like a superhero with goggles or something. So maybe you'd want to do it more like this, or up here, or down here. And then once you're done transforming it, you click OK. But in any case, because we've created this little mask here, it's allowing us to show this image through the mask. And let's just slide this back up, say like here. Let's go like this. And let's see what happens when we change this layer mask a little bit. So first I'm going to delete that. Remember, always just say delete. We'll create a new layer mask, and this time we'll use the brush to create that. So I'm on the brush. I'm going to use the square brackets to make it smaller. And I'm going to reduce the opacity to 50% so it doesn't just blow it out. And then I'm on the show area. So I need to change that by hitting the X key, black, where it will hide part of this image, and it'll bring that out. So then I just click and start brushing. Maybe I just want to do like just her face coming out. So I do something like that. I could actually lower the opacity if I want to get just a really subtle effect right in her face. And then I could hit the X key if I wanted, and I could use the white to brush some of that back in. I'll raise the opacity back up. So I'm basically like brushing the ball back in. by showing it again. Do that on her forehead a little bit too. Something like that. And then of course you can always grab her image, hit the V key to move it, Control T to transform if for some reason, say I wanted it smaller. Maybe that'll make her face fit a little bit better. And go ahead and click OK. I might go back to this layer mask and actually go to the black and my brush. Oops, actually I wanted to go with the white, so I'm going to change it to the white. And I could actually really lighten this up to make it like even a little bit more kind of hazy almost. Go with a lower opacity, like 20%, to just really lighten it up. So it really just looks like she's kind of peering out of the ball. Almost a ghost image. Then maybe we want to go back to the transform and make it really big again. But you just do that by working back in different colors. You get the black out if you want to see more of her face down there. Maybe you want to see more around here. You just kind of can work back and forth between the colors and the opacity and like show or hide more or less to get the effect that you want. Okay, so grab these two images out of the downloads and combine them yourself using a layer mask and post them in the Q&A for the rest of us to see. Thanks, and I'll see you in the next lecture.